first of all, that Dave Chappelle is the type of comedian that's going to say what he feels, right? And in many instances, when he talks about current events, he does it in a way, it's almost like he's having a conversation with you, right? And he injects some humor and some things, and just like any comedian, I mean, comedians may talk about a gigolo, may talk about a stripper, may talk about the president, may talk about anything, right? And they're just jokes, right? So you have Dave Chappelle, who has had some controversy over some things that he said. Many comedians are edgy, so I don't think that it should be like a big surprise to folks that Dave Chappelle's talking about edgy stuff or funny stuff. But you remember the Los Angeles man accused of attacking Dave Chappelle, right? Many of you saw the video. Of course, this comes right after, a couple weeks after Chris Rock ran on the stage. So some guy runs on the stage in LA while Dave Chappelle is telling jokes. And he says that he was triggered by the comedian's jokes about the LGBTQ community and homelessness, as he insisted he never wanted to harm the funny man. Now, that's confusing. That's a contradiction. You know what I mean? But he says that he was triggered. So the guy's name is Isaiah Lee. And he told the New York Post that Chappelle should be more sensitive when it comes to the jokes that he cracks. I really don't understand why folks think that they can control what other creatives say and do. Sweet Tea, tomorrow we are back, right? Sweet Tea from the His and Hers show. We have so many things to talk about. I have like a list of things right here for us to talk about on the show, and we will be back tomorrow. I am looking forward to hearing her opinion on a bunch of things. And so this guy, Isaiah Lee, says that Dave Chappelle should be more sensitive about the stuff that he is saying out of his mouth, right? This guy is telling the comedian what he's supposed to talk about is I don't know. That's I guess the world that we live in, where somebody has the audacity, and this is part of social media. Somebody has the audacity to say they ran up on stage to attack the comedian because he needs to be more sensitive about jokes that he tells. Crazy. So the alleged attacker, Isaiah Lee, says he identifies as bisexual, and he wanted him to know that what he said was triggering. Well, then you should have said it, but you running up on the stage and trying to tackle him. You think that that's going to have Dave Chappelle understand that he triggered you? No, it's just ridiculous. Right? This is ridiculousess. And I like the show Ridiculousness, but I mean, this is just stupid. Right? He claims that he ran up on the stage because he wanted Dave Chappelle to know what he said was triggering. I mean, Lee said this Saturday to the New York Post, and he's at the Twin Towers Correctional Facility in Los Angeles. So he has a sling on his broken right arm. And we talk about triggering. You got that arm broke. Do you feel? I mean, he gets what he gets, right? And that's what he wanted, right? I guess he wanted some attention, and he got that. He got that. So he says, I wanted him to know that next time he should consider first running his material by people it could affect. Do you know how stupid that sounds? First of all, comedy, drama, entertainment is subjective, right? So what one person thinks, because he could have run it past some gay or bisexual folks and they laughed at it, right? I mean, so whatever, I don't know. It is mind-blowing that we're at a point in the world where folks think like this idiot is thinking. He wants him to know that next time he should consider first running his material past people it could affect. Does he know how stupid? That's why he's in jail right now with a broke arm, looking dumb. Because he's sounding dumb. He's looking dumb and sounding dumb. He said that he expected to have a good time at the May 3rd Netflix is a Joke show, but he grew angry and frustrated as Chappelle joked about his prior controversies with the LGBTQ community as well as homelessness. He became frustrated. He couldn't control himself. So he got his arm broke and whatever else. And that's what he get. He needs to sit in his seat. He needs to sit in his seat. I mean, I just, the entitlement, I don't know, the softness of some folks is mind-blowing. Is mind-blowing. Says that he's also a single dad and his son is 5. Well, what kind of example did you set for your son, Mr. Lee? So what, you think your son could just run up and tackle the teacher if he was triggered by something that the teacher said to him? No. Ridiculous. 23 years old. This guy who at one point says that he was homeless himself. Okay. It's a struggle and he wanted Dave Chappelle to know it's not a joke. Shut up. There's humor in everything. He didn't talk about you personally, idiot. He's an idiot. Said that he was at his breaking point when another comedian in the show's lineup made a crude joke about pedophilia, which Lee said dragged up memories of his own molestation as a teen. I mean, if that's the case, don't ever leave your house. Don't ever turn on the TV because something that somebody else could say or a movie that you could see or a commercial could trigger you. So soft, this generation, right? Now, yes, stuff can be triggering, but you need to control yourself and act like an adult. Okay? So my sister, Shawan, passed away some years ago, a few years ago. And she passed away from breast cancer. Now, I don't think I've ever actually said that on a show before, but that's what happened. And there's some commercials that come on that talk about breast cancer or survivors, cancer survivors, and things like that. And yes, every time I hear the word breast cancer, when I see a survivor, when I hear someone talk about it, it makes me think of my sister, right? But that doesn't bring me to the point of wanting to break the TV or attack someone speaking about it or anything like that, right? And, I have no sympathy for someone who can't control themselves when they hear something that may make them feel a certain kind of way. You keep your hands to yourself. You keep your butt in your seat and your feet on the floor, or else you're going to get your arms broke and maybe worse. Yeah, so Isaiah Lee, I don't know how much sympathy he's going to get. I don't know, LGBTQ community, y'all standing by this man and his words. I don't know. I like to hear our folks in that community. Do they co-sign their mans? Okay. It was stunning to see when he ran up there, but I was also happy to see it. It was caught on camera. Thankfully, we saw Lee charging Dave Chappelle on stage, and there was some, yes, they fell to the ground. Security grabbed them up and all that kind of stuff. That was a trans man, Chappelle said. And of course, he's a comedian, so he joked to the crowd right after it happened. Lee admitted that he was carrying a replica handgun with a retractable knife inside on the night of the alleged attack, but claimed he didn't have the weapon out when he charged on the stage. Now, who brings a replica handgun with a retractable knife to a comedy show to just on the night that they rush the stage and attack a comedian who, I don't know, has had controversy lately? Isn't that interesting? So I don't know if I believe everything that Mr. Lee is saying. They have some photos of him on YouTube. He has, I guess, a song talking about Dave Chappelle. He planned to do this. He has songs talking about Dave Chappelle. And he seems to be almost obsessed with Dave Chappelle. He's a wannabe rapper. I think he's called No Name Trapper or something like that. His rap name, put out a song, says that he always carries the weapon for protection because he's also a minor celebrity. Says he needs this replica a gun with the retractable knife. I mean, he's a joke. He's facing 4 misdemeanor counts, including battery, possession of a deadly weapon with intent to assault. And he said that they spat on me and twisted me as if on purpose. He said the security guards who left him with a broken arm and 2 black eyes. Of course, he's still trying to act like he's the victim after he ran up on stage, told the Post that he was molested at 17 while under care of the Department of Children and Family Services in Los Angeles. He also said that he was in the process of trying to secure a place to live before he was nabbed in the Hollywood Bowl debacle. So it's everybody else's fault. Not his. Of course not. That wasn't his fault. Of course it wasn't his fault. Asked about reports that he also suffers from mental health issues, he said that they were wrong and inaccurate. His lawyer, however, says that he has been receiving mental health services. So who knows? Who knows? The incident went viral, of course. And it has also led to more criminal charges against Lee. He was charged on Thursday with stabbing his roommate last year. The victim in that case identified Lee as his alleged attacker when the Chappelle incident went viral. Right? And so I'm sure that he's going to probably say that the guy he stabbed in, I don't know, maybe he was telling jokes about homeless people too. Is he going to be able to use that same excuse there? Is he? I don't know, because he's got a lot of excuses. He ran up on stage attacking Dave Chappelle, but he's got all these excuses as to why things are happening to him. He says that it went from me probably doing 6 months in jail and having to do community service and living in a transitional home to possibly 15 or more years in jail, shaking his head. My son will be a big boy by the time I get out. And that is your own fault, idiot. That is your own fault. That is your own fault. And probably when you get out of jail and you ask your son, who's your favorite comedian? He's probably going to say Dave Chappelle. The irony. The irony. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show, of course, on Fire TV
Visit OnFireTV.com for live top stories, breaking news, and original